Thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Canadian Prairie. I'm Andrew Pritchard, meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, unfortunately, we do have a transition to a cooler air mass on the way as we head through the last days of March, the first days of April. Temperatures across portions of Alberta and southwestern Saskatchewan feel like they could be anywhere from 10 to 15 degrees cooler than average as we go through the first 5 days of April. We're also going to be shifting toward a more active pattern here as far as precipitation and some snowfall goes, but that doesn't happen until we get to the middle part of next week. The weekend and maybe even Monday, Tuesday looking rather quiet across the prairie, and we'll take a look at that here in a moment. Temperatures right now in the single digits across the prairie as you get closer to Highway 16, maybe dropping a couple of degrees below zero at this time. As we look at the satellite picture, I want to go ahead and show you, we can actually pick up the snowpack across the prairie right now. We're seeing a hole in the clouds right now. Beautiful conditions across a big chunk of the prairie, but right here, kind of along and north of Highway 16, you're seeing the snowpack being picked up by the visible satellite image here, and then the brown shading would be where we've got snow-free ground. It looks like some more snow right there along the border of Saskatchewan and Montana, but kind of a cool picture there as we see the clear skies, and then certainly as you look up here, very snow-covered areas of northern Saskatchewan and then central portions of Manitoba. So here's a look at that loop as we just kind of go through the animation there. Taking a look at the radar, we do have some snow falling north of Highway 16 in Alberta, just between the Grand Prairie and the Edmonton area. We'll continue to see this storm system kind of slowly making its way north of Highway 16. Last time we talked on Wednesday, that was the pattern. It was just kind of these series of areas of low pressure bringing with them some snow tracking north of Highway 16, kind of a parade of little storm systems like this. And we're seeing the last of them make its way through here as we head through the weekend. We'll take the drawing off because as we get into early next week, that is when we're going to start to see some change. So this is a look at the high resolution model output here as we head through the weekend, watching that snow north of Highway 16 as we go through tonight into Saturday and then into Sunday morning. But as we head into early next week, we're going to watch this trough that's located here over the Arctic kind of reposition itself to the south. You see this transition? We've got the main trough anchored up here north of the prairie right now. As we head into the middle part of next week, we're going to see that trough kind of reorienting itself. There we go. Just to the south, and that displacement, that's what's going to allow some colder air to slip in. It's what's also going to bring that storm track just a bit south and bring some of that precipitation to the prairie. So let's look at the 24-hour precipitation here, kind of looped, focusing on the primary prairie region. Again, watching the forecast continue to keep things north of Highway 16 as we head through the first part. But there it is. As we get into, now we're looking at Wednesday of next week. Now we're starting to fill this area in, bringing in a little bit of precipitation activity. Really low confidence in how exactly this is going to unfold. I'm going to go ahead and play this loop and see a really crazy animation here right there. Let me go ahead and bring it back and watch what the European model has happening now. Let's quickly go through the weekend, watching again. Here's the first system that swings through right here, kind of missing the prairie. We've got another system bringing some snow across portions of the Great Lakes and the upper Midwest. But here we go. We're into Sunday now. Monday, we're still dry across the prairie. And then we get into Tuesday. We're starting off quiet, but now you're starting to see this area of low pressure emerge right here. This is 7 a.m. on Wednesday. This would be some fairly heavy snow across portions of Alberta and Saskatchewan, wrapping around this area of low pressure. But what's weird here is we see the evolution right now kind of pinching off a piece of that area of low pressure and having it kind of retrograde back to the northwest. With another little area of low pressure kind of breaking off here, going across the U.S.-Ontario border, and kind of keeping some snow in the area here to the end of the last part of the week, so like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Not real confident that that's exactly how this is going to unfold. I think we're seeing some weird dynamics between a kind of a complicated upper-level pattern, and so I'm letting you know the weekend looks dry across much of the prairie, Saturday, Sunday, Monday even, but getting into Tuesday and Wednesday, as we get into our Monday morning forecast video for the prairie, we'll have some stuff to talk about because that's when it looks like precipitation returns in a more widespread fashion across the prairie. Again, Tuesday and Wednesday, that would be around the first day into a day or two of April. Temperatures, going to be bringing in some cooler air. Again, we take this trough that's located up to the north and just kind of reorient it down here across the prairie as we get into the middle part of next week. That brings some precipitation, that brings some colder temperatures back into the region. So here's a look at the next 10 days in Calgary. Look at that, 12 degrees for the high on Sunday. Still above normal on Monday, but then we see that cooler air move in, dropping our highs back below zero as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. That's when we'll be seeing that chance for some snow across the region as well. Same thing in Edmonton, cooling down as we get into the early days of April. Saskatoon, you got a similar look, 8 degrees on Sunday, 6 on Monday, dropping down below zero Tuesday through the end of the week. Regina, you got a similar look, and then as we look at Winnipeg, 5 degrees over the weekend, 10 for the high on Monday, 8 on Tuesday, dropping down to around freezing. But look at that, staying above freezing here in the coolest stretch as we get into the first couple days of April. Coolest air again going to be back to the west across Alberta and Saskatchewan. At this point, not looking quite as cold across portions of Manitoba. There it is. But again, go through the weekend, enjoy the weekend. It'll be warmer and quiet, and then Monday morning, we'll get business. We'll talk about the cooler temperatures and the potential for some snow Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. Have a great day and a wonderful weekend.